What are you looking at? See? Are you here for another Jordan, Jules, and Just Reddit? See?
He didn't give me any time to prepare.
Welcome back to another episode of Jordan, Jules, and Just Reddit. I am Jordan, reporting in live from 1920 New York City.
And I'm Jules.
What's it to you, toots? Why are you smoking indoors? I know that's illegal everywhere, but not here.
Can't you see I'm a man?
Alright, anyhow, hey guys, it's Jordan and Jules.
And Just Reddit.
Jules, can you believe that we've been wearing the same outfits for the last month?
Kind of unhygienic of us.
I know. Been drinking.
But this is part 3 of episode 19.
Yes. Well, since this is the last part, you want to explain why we did it like this?
Yes.
Jules is about to get a little bit personal.
We didn't address it. Well, I'm not going to get too personal.
Jules is going to be evasively personal.
Yes. Basically, I have some stuff going on. This is the day prior to that. I'm getting like a procedure done tomorrow. And basically, I'm going to be frank, my face is going to be messed
You're
up.
not even going to recognize her.
100%
You'll
different
see her.
person.
I say you'll see her walking down the street, but you won't. You won't even recognize her.
So I have a lot of personal stuff going on. So we're pre-recording and
A couple of episodes.
yes. Should we disclose like what the special episode 20th one is going to be?
No,
Yeah.
keep them in suspense.
Okay. So we do have something really cool and really special planned. But like I said, this all kind of just happened last minute and it put that on hold. So I do apologize. But
And the 20th episode just takes time to do, just because of what it involves and stuff. So,
and the circumstances I really can't partake in
yes.
at the
So
time of getting the stuff.
you guys will just have to be sitting there in suspense. Sorry, y'all.
It's going to be great though. So make sure you tune into the episode. And maybe if you like it, we can do more in the future.
Yes.
depending.
But with this being part 3, and hopefully the last of our temporarily waiting for the season finale, we're doing something a little bit different. Normally we read to you guys Reddit stories that we find from different subreddits, but this time, Jordan and Jules going rogue. We're going to be the one discussing.
Unscripted.
So we have, or I saw this scrolling, I forget what I looked up, but I saw this and it's r/isitbs, but you know, fully spelled out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. Topics that Jules and I can debate on and argue or
Yeah.
agree with. So we have 5 of them pulled up, and this will be a little bit of a shorter episode just because first time doing this, you know, just to see how it is and stuff. But we thought it'd be interesting because this also involves more of you guys giving your own thoughts and opinions on these different kind of subjects. So not only will we be discussing it, but you guys can discuss it
Amongst yourself.
down below. Down below right here in the
And
chat.
down below.
Not my knee, but the
Or just
chat.
scream at your computer screen.
Yeah. Send in a video recording to Jordan and Jules justreddit@gmail.com.
Yeah. I was about to say we need to make an email.
Actually, just send a YouTube link. That way it's a
Yes.
little bit easier. But anywho, actually, you know what? Before we start, I'll give a little bit of a introduction of what the subreddit actually is. r/isitbs. I thought you were about to sneeze. A community for asking whether programs, products, or services are legit. This was created September 12th, 2013. 610,000 members. 19 are online right now. We're 2 of them. So, which topic do you want to start with? Do you want to go in order that we have them, or do you just want to...
Let's go rogue. We're going rogue.
All right. Number 1. Is it BS? And this was by Arizona Batorchestra. Is it BS? In the early/mid 2000 or 20th century, corporations realized they can make more money if both men and women had income and could shop versus a one-income household. Advertisers began encouraging women to be more independent and work, which is really what ignited the feminist movement.
Jordan's eyes lit up when I read this to him.
This was like a subject, not that I've always wanted to talk about, but like there's multiple things to talk about in this. And one of them, and I think the main one, is the use of marketing and the corruption in the system of like advertising to people. So what I mean by, pulling up my leg for this. So I'll read the description real quick. I can't find any references to this online anywhere, but someone told me this last night and it's not making much sense. I do think it makes sense that perhaps there's a little truth to it, but I definitely think it's maybe 5% of the feminist movement. And it's also not as nefarious and evil corporations as my friend made it sound. If anything, it sounds like it was inspired by women's grassroots movement and I guess capitalized on.
Now, I wouldn't put it past the government because think about it, like marketing.
It wouldn't be corporations.
Corporations. Sorry, I wouldn't put it past corporations 100%. They're dirty. It's a dirty system.
Like for example, this month, because I think this is going to be out in time in June, over like the last couple recent years, because they didn't used to do this before. Companies on their Instagrams, Twitters, and TikToks and all that other stuff will change their profile picture to incorporate the rainbow flag for the support of LGBTQ community.
And you really don't know whether that's genuine or they realize that they take it as a good marketing ploy.
Yep.
As to like see people of the LGBT community to see them as an ally, which then brings them in more profit.
Yes.
So you really don't know because a lot of corporations are disgenuine and only focused on profit because it's their entire reason for existence.
Yeah.
So in terms of this, I wouldn't put it past them, but like OP said, which is really what ignited the feminist movement. I definitely think that it could have. I don't know the research.
I wouldn't say ignited, but I would definitely.
I would say ignited. Started it.
Ooh.
What?
No. This is not little history, and anybody can correct me if I'm wrong for this because I am a man talking about this movement. I know, but I wouldn't say it was marketing that started the feminist movement. I would say that it was more of the actual women themselves, because I know especially in World War II when women had to take up the workforce because all the men were sent overseas and stuff. Yeah. When the men came back, that's when most women realized, oh my God, they're making X amount more money. And then that trickled into things. And I'm sure this helped fuel this along, but I wouldn't go so far to say ignite.
Yeah, you're right. And I think this has to be researched, really in a timeline sort of manner. Really studying the masses at the time. Maybe it didn't ignite it, but maybe marketing took advantage of it, definitely.
Yes. So, based off of what's happening today with the Pride Month and the companies changing it, this would not surprise me. So, I'm going to go ahead and say not BS.
No, I'm going to say not BS.
I will say this is truthful.
Like
with what we said, not ignited, but help definitely fuel it and push it along.
And just like with our example with the Pride Month, nothing wrong with Pride Month, but you can definitely see where corporations even become a little overly enthusiastic about it to the point where they're like, okay, we get it. Like it's to the point it seems you can just tell it's disgenuine to where they're just like wanting to bring in more profit rather than actually caring about the
actual community.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, fun fact, this year, most companies have not changed their profile pictures. And now
because of the political stance.
Well, not even political stance, but now all the people who used to say that this was a gimmick, like all the LGBTQ people that used to say that this was a gimmick, are now like, whoa, what's going on? Like, do you hate us? Yeah. They completely flip their script.
Do you have a specific example of corporations who don't?
Not off the top of my head. But I know, because normally it happens first day.
Yeah.
And so if they haven't changed it now, I know within that first week, people were taken to X, Twitter, and we're talking about it and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, anywho, not BS.
No, I don't think it's BS. Is it BS? People who are generally nicer while sober, but horrible/abusive when intoxicated are actually horrible people at the time, but they're able to suppress/hide it when sober.
Before we get into this, go ahead and read what they have written down for it.
And this is labeled. Should I say what it's labeled?
Yeah, this is called. It was labeled as overgeneralization.
Overgeneralization. I know this question is kind of vague, and the answer is probably more complex than yes or no, but I've always wondered about certain people I know. Like my sister's ex-husband, who was very quiet and soft-spoken when he was sober, but the second he gets drunk, he wants to fight everyone, and...
I was black.
What? Everyone excuses her significant other of... accuses his significant other of cheating, and is just a pathetic monster of a drunk. I'm basically asking if the famous people show their true selves when they are drunk line is true. Edit, thank you for all of the great answers, guys. I wonder if there are any studies that could help shed some light on this. I have no idea how to even begin to look for things like that. I do remember reading about a study or social experiment where they gave people liquor and beer that was non-alcoholic and didn't tell them it was alcohol-free. I remember reading that most people behaved like they were drunk and acted goofy. It implies that people are disinhibited not only by the effects of alcohol, but also use alcohol as an excuse to act however they want, or something like that. It would be interesting to see if a normally nice but abusive drunk would start being an a-hole if they were unknowingly given alcohol-free beverages. That's a really interesting thing.
So I agree with this. Like once again, this is not BS for me, or specifically the line "people show their true selves while drunk."
100%.
Just because, similar to what the study that they're trying to remember, when people have the excuse of a substance, whether it's alcohol, marijuana, meth, or whatever, we're getting demonetized, channels canceled for listing all this. But anywho, when people have that scapegoat,
right,
that's what really encourages them to go crazy or to go wild.
It's difficult. I completely agree, and people do have that scapegoat because alcohol and different substances, they lower your inhibitions and they do change your consciousness, at least more so in different ways for different people. But the idea that people have, like they use in this, like the social experiment that they referenced, and I can even attest myself, even before, because I engage in social drinking here and there.
Yeah, Jules becomes a completely different person.
No,
you think she hits me like this?
Shut up.
While sober? No, it's full. Jordan!
No, I can attest. Even before I started socially drinking, because I was underage, and I did wait till I was legal to start
I haven't had a sip of alcohol until I turned 21.
Whatever. I mean, me too. Oh, that's a lie. Sorry. But just I remember when I was around my friends and stuff that would drink, there was this sense that came over me. At least personally for me, I don't know if I would just feel the vibe of everything else, but I would myself start to feel kind of drunk or inhibited a little bit. Just that freedom, kind of, even just being around it. So I can definitely see where them thinking that they had that scapegoat then justified lowering their inhibitions. It must be some kind of psychological response. But back to the question at hand about people show their true selves when they're drunk. I 100% think that's true. No matter what, the way that a person acts under that influence, that's inside of them.
Yep. And most people view once you're drunk, the reins are off and you're free to do whatever.
It's like literally taking a mask off or taking a costume off. So it's really scary because more so that person's normal day to day, I feel like I would see more as a costume now. Yep. A face that they put on that they view as being more socially acceptable than how they actually feel inside, which is very terrifying.
And then you have the complete opposite, because I don't want to just bash on monster drunk people, but for example, one of my childhood heroes growing up, popular MMOs, Pat, was a Minecraft YouTuber and he did Lucky Block stuff. He was just recently arrested and he was drunk out of his mind, but instead of being rah 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 dangerous and stuff, he was very sad. And it was heartbreaking to see that. So I say that it's not just applicable to nice people turning abusive, but nice people being sad, nice people being happy, like just
alcohol in particular
changes.
Evokes different emotions in different people. Like me personally, I become very loving and affectionate when I'm drunk. Like I just want to tell everyone how much I love it. Not to
Jordan.
Me. I just want to give everyone a hug. But some people become very, very angry. I have family members that become very, very angry. Some people get very, very sad, like Jordan was saying. Like it depends.
Oh, I don't get sad. I'm the life of the party. I just want to make that clear.
Not sad, but it's like it presses different buttons for different people.
Yeah. Let us know what you guys think.
It is kind of No, it's not. People are generally nice while sober, horrible and abusive when intoxicated. If a person, point blank period, if a person's intoxicated and they're acting abusive and disrespectful and stuff, that's a part of them.
It's their inner demons.
It's their inner demons.
It's the inner demons that they choose to suppress while sober.
Yes.
But accidentally get released when they're drunk. Mm-hmm. All right. Is it BS? Self-control is like a muscle. If you practice it more often, it will get stronger. Jules, I think you can attest to this.
Yes.
By saying it's true, yes.
I believe it's true. It's difficult to explain because I feel like people, and like I said, I fall into this group too. Like whenever I speak about things, like I'm part of this. I'm not saying like I don't want people to think that like I think that I'm the self-image of self-control, because I'm not. I think everyone loses self-control sometimes in one way or the other. But definitely the more that you practice self-control, and like you're in a situation where you can either hold back when you know you need to, or give in to that, or make a justification for your actions, and you choose to make a justification for your actions instead of holding back when you need to, that's not practicing that muscle. It's letting it go to atrophy. You know what I'm saying? But the more that you make that conscious decision and evaluate the situation and be like, no, I'm going to follow this despite feeling this way, it gets easier to then do that, you know?
And on a lighter note of why I said Jules relates to this, I don't know if you guys know this, but we got a world-class bodybuilder right here. And so her self-control is sticking to the diet, sticking to the regimen. And she, as hard as it is to believe, she wasn't born a bodybuilder.
I wasn't coming out of the womb doing leg day, guys.
She wasn't benching 405, at 2 months. So what I was hinting at is that as you started your progression, you worked on your self-control muscle to stick with the regimen, to stick with the diet. So I feel like in different instances, whether it's a social instance where you socially have self-control over your actions, whether it's of mental self-control on sticking to regimens or diets or whatever, I feel like this is not BS and it is true.
Yes.
That self-control is a muscle. I don't know, would you say muscle? I guess that's the one thing that they're comparing it to.
Yeah, I think they're comparing it to, because the more that you work it, the stronger it gets.
Yes.
So they're talking like metaphor.
And especially when you work a 9-to-5 dead-end job, self-control gets worked a lot.
What,
to not get fired.
Oh, yeah.
Holding your tongue to not go off on your boss.
Yeah.
So I
Jordan just had a therapy session.
Yeah. Not about anything. Don't worry about it, guys.
No, forget about it.
Jordan's okay.
This one I thought was really freaking interesting. Wait, it's my turn, right? Yes. I thought it was really interesting because I never thought about it this way. Is it BS scammers purposely write their emails in bad grammar and syntax to weed out people who are more likely to fall for their scams? And OP wrote, I saw an article on it online and got curious, LOL. That's really interesting.
I feel like this top comment really sums it up pretty well. If they write great emails with camouflage, so like they write their scamming emails with camouflage, they will get quite a few responses, as at that point people replying don't know it's a scam. After a few email exchanges, smart people realize it's a scam and walk off. For the scammer, he has spent/invested quite a bit of time to reply, and the positive hit rate is bad.
Yeah.
So they make it obvious it's a scam. That way less people respond, and the people who do respond actually don't know it's a scam, and they can continue their steps.
Honestly, on the scammer's part, it's a very smart, it's like an automatic filter, you know? And it's definitely a good strategy.
Yes.
Not gonna lie.
Like, in my time with the internet, I have gotten plenty of text messages, voicemails. I'm sure you guys got them. Your car's extended warranty. Blah, blah,
Right.
blah. Oh, your Easy Pass toll didn't go through. Go check it out.
Your UPS package.
Yep,
is blah,
So
blah.
to me, you know, I know those are scams. I'm
Ignore it.
Yeah, I'm quite internet literate. But I know a few people who are not, and they actually come to me and they're like,
And not trying to
Jordan,
be disrespectful, but it's usually older individuals who aren't as skilled and or familiar with like technology and stuff like that. But think about it. I mean, scammers can send this out to like masses of people.
email lists.
Yeah.
And data brokers, they just buy all these emails, type them into this algorithm and hit send.
Yeah,
And that's it.
Look how much like time they would save. And too, I mean, like I said, we just ignore those. No further action is usually taken from it, so it's no consequences to them.
But poor little Miss Ann down the street, you know. Oh, what is this? My
Gave her
Easy
life
Pass.
savings and Medicaid.
Yeah. There's a Nigerian prince who needs my help. Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But no, I'd say not BS.
Not BS for the most part. I'm sure some of it is just kind of language barrier stuff. But definitely, I mean, like I said, it's a smart strategy. But if you're a scammer, you're a POS.
Let us know what you think down below in the comments.
Comment if you do this.
Comment if you get scammed.
Bless you.
Oh man, I lost snot that came out, but I sucked it back up.
Oh, good. Sucked it back up. That's good.
All right, guys, this is our last topic for the night, so make sure you get your argument hats ready. Is it BS? Very few Americans who join the military do so because they want to serve their country. You want me to go first, or you want to go first?
Well, read what the comment says.
The description below is heard people, especially on Reddit, say that Americans usually join the military either to pay for their education or because they have nowhere else to go.
No, I don't think that's BS at all. I mean, I've known people personally that have really not had... I mean, they've had respect and stuff for serving their country, but it wasn't, like, first on their list. It was mostly, like, I've heard a lot of people doing it for direction, for the benefits and stuff like that. I mean, think about it. That's why a lot of, like, scouters exist, like, go out there and try to get people hooked. Yeah. They're not usually starting with... I mean, at least in my experience, they don't start with, like, do you want to serve your country? Like an Uncle Sam type of way.
I want you.
They present you with the benefits, what you get, like, where you can go. Like, they present, like, traveling or, like, paying for college. And that's all to get you to sign on to the military.
Yeah, so if we're looking at joining the military specifically because you want to serve your country, I feel that in certain times in history, this would be BS.
Yeah.
For example, World War I, World War II. After a certain attack in New York City in the early 2000s, like there are certain times in history where a flood of people will want to join to serve, not only serve the country, but to defend the country, and they want to feel like they're doing a part. But in more peaceful times, it's more for the benefits that happen. And I feel like as they're spending their time in the military, not only do they get to use the benefits, and for example, somebody put down pay for school, nowhere else to go, get out of dead-end town, their friends did it, get away from someone, parents pushed them, want to serve their country, but even if they had no intention of serving their country and are joining strictly for more financial benefits than anything, they learn to serve their country while in it.
Right.
Like they get an appreciation for it.
And you still have to have some kind of respect and discipline. Like, it's not like, it's kind of like easygoing where you can just do whatever you want. Like, you still have to abide by rules, have certain, like, I don't know, it teaches you to be a soldier. Like,
Yeah.
So I feel like even people that aren't doing it, their number one reason being like, oh, I want to serve my country, like that's my sole purpose. You kind of have that like deep rooted into you, like you have to have some kind of background respect to even do that job.
Yeah, like a lot of military families I know. Most of them don't pressure their kids, but as the kids are growing up, they're admiring their parents who are serving. And like, for example, my uncle and my cousin, they both my uncle served in the Coast Guard. He retired a few years ago. But my cousin growing up, watching his dad change lives and like helping people through the Coast Guard inspired him to join. And now he's on service and he's having the time of his life. Like, not only is he's defending our country and helping, others around, but he then now gets to travel to different places.
Yeah.
He gets to learn how to do a trade job simultaneously while he's there. Like, he's a machine gun mechanic, I believe. So not only is he learning how to be a mechanic, but he's also having regiment, discipline, and like learning how to function as a member of a group. And that's just something I admire them very much so. Like, if I didn't have a set out plan for my life, I would join the military. Or like, if something were to come up with America and they need a draft or something, and like I just feel that overwhelmed, then I would join specifically to serve the country. But like I said, I feel like if they don't join specifically to serve, they learn that they want to serve while in it.
And I just want to shout out my poppy, because he was in the Army, he did the Marines for a little while, and then he was also in the Coast Guard, or National Guard, sorry. And he loves it. He actually misses it a lot. He just, that discipline and what it has taught him.
And the feeling of camaraderie with all of your
his
team.
family, his past coworkers, like, he just loved everything about it, and you could tell he had a deep appreciation for it, and that's always something that I've admired about him. And his daughter actually went into she's in, I think it's the Army. It might be the Marine.
One of them.
I think it's the Army. Yeah, just in that. And she's serving overseas and has bounced around a lot, and she loves it too. She's seen most of the world. Like, it's really, really cool. But speaking of what you were saying, like in more war-oriented or surrounding times, you also have to account for drafting. I mean, they had a lot of drafts. A lot of people didn't have a choice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like drafts were kind of 50-50 depending on who you asked. It was people who would willingly go, and then it would people who'd be forced to go because of the draft. But if we're also doing shout out to my grandfather. He was in the Navy. And shout out to my uncle, because he is in the Army Reserves, and every once in a while he'll get deployed over to the Middle East.
Oh, really? Wow. What's the reserves?
Basically, you meet every once in a while, and if combat time does come, they'll call on the reserves, and then you'll take back up in arms. And
is that post-retirement?
No, that's like active job.
Oh, okay. How old is he?
He's not that old.
Oh, okay.
I'd say he's older than my dad, so I'd probably say like mid-50s.
Oh, okay.
He's not that old. He's a young, spry man. They actually just went over to Europe.
Nice. Well, thank you to all, in all seriousness, thank you to all who are serving our country.
I'm going to have an American flag waving in the background for you guys, and I'll start playing the anthem. Yeah, I think that's a good spot to end it for us.
So do I.
Let us know how you feel about this, whether you want more topics to be debated, or you're like, Jordan, Jules, this sucked. Never
Jordan, Jules, please shut up. Jordan
and Jules and just shutting up.
Yeah, literally.
Jules, any final words for the audience?
No, please let us download. Please let us know down below if you enjoyed this segment and it's something that we can keep up, because believe me, it's a lot of researching, because there's a lot of BS on the. Yeah. Is it BS?
Well, sometimes we gotta throw these BS stories in there, because we just had a all non-BS. But you'll have to get that for next time. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, send to your third cousin. I've been Jordan.
I've been Jules.
And this has been
Just Reddit.
Bye, everybody.